Yeah, that's pretty good. Today we are going to be talking about how to find your style, and I have outlined it in a nice way to help you pursue that journey down the NPC road of actually figuring out what is better suited for you and how you can dress better than all your little NPCs out in college, high school, preschool, I don't know, wherever you're watching this, however old you were watching this. It is not too late to start. Or if you're trying to rebuild your wardrobe and just like go down a different route, this might even be a good outline. So you can start at any stage. It doesn't really matter as long as you have certain stages done and completed. Your character build needs to level up a bit, and then you just kind of start. So let's go ahead and talk about our first thing. So our first step into even getting into like trying to figure out what your style is do you have a timeless wardrobe? That is the first step. And if you don't have a timeless wardrobe or you don't know where to start, go ahead and watch this video here. I kind of outlined it pretty well, so like you can go ahead and check that out. But yeah, if you don't have a timeless wardrobe, like things that are able to interchange and intermix with like your evolving style, things that are just catered to the more minimalistic side, very basic and stuff, you will have a hard time finding pieces that will mesh really well with your current wardrobe at the moment. If your wardrobe's built all trendy items, like, you know, sometimes certain items won't mesh with different genres of fashion and it'll look a bit odd and weird, and it will definitely put a rock in your rudder. Is that what they say? A rock in your rudder. It'll definitely put a damper in your mood. It'll make that toast moist. No one likes moist toast. You want to build your foundation very strong when you first get into fashion, because you don't want to build up and then it crumble down and you end up losing a lot of money and a lot of your time into figuring out your style until like later down the line. So we want to build that foundation now, and you have to build that foundation in a timeless wardrobe so that those items cycle through your wardrobe in and out consistently and you don't throw them away. You know, these are pieces you're going to stay with you for a long time and hopefully throughout the years until they get ran through. So now that we have step 1 out of the way, let's talk about step 2. With step 2, you have to understand yourself as a person and how you want to express yourself with the clothing that you're going to end up wearing. You have to find brands that resonate with who you are and how you want to express yourself and what you feel will work best with you. That is what really matters. So step 2 is definitely the most crucial part, and I think it's very difficult for a lot of people to really figure out, because it is hard understanding yourself, and it's also hard understanding what makes you feel comfortable and what you really want to go towards. So it is a very difficult route for step 2, but it is the best thing to do, and to really ask yourself, what do I want to get into? What brands resonate with me? What styles feel like I will be comfortable in? Because it's all about your comfortability, not about being uncomfortable. Again, you got to ask yourself, like, will I actually wear this, or is this just something I think is interesting and I can appreciate from afar, but I can't wear it? And there's so many styles and genres out there that we get like inspiration from. You know, we get like, whoa, these are like crazy outfits, like this is so amazing, I want to dress like this. But the reality behind it is, if you get a lot of those clothing pieces and you end up trying to wear them, you'll feel really uncomfortable. So something to ask yourself is, what best represents who you are as a person and how you want to express yourself? That is like the key thing to like remember. Now that we passed the foundation stuff, let's get into the real big meaty portions of like what we can start doing. So if you've already gone down the route of step 1 and step 2, now we can get into step 3. So where do we look for brands, JQ? You know, like, where do we look for these brands? We have no clue where to start, how to find brands, how to find different styles, stuff like that. I recommend going through Grailed. Grailed has a plethora of different brands and genres of style in terms of stuff like that. You know, there's like a streetwear tab, there's Avant tab. They're not all necessarily like categorized in the correct thing, but you know, who cares? There's a lot of brands to go through. They do give you like there's like a directory where you can like pick a bunch of like categories of different brands. I recommend checking out all the brands on there, and once you've kind of like ran through all that, you can now move on to asking your friends. Now I know this is a little iffy, you know, if you don't have any fashion friends and stuff like that, that might not be the best thing for you, but ask your fashion friends, ask people that are in the industry already. They might be able to, you know, push you to some brands. Obviously, if you're like, I'm looking for this super specific thing, I am looking for earth tones while also being wide fit and also it being very interesting, not everyone can really give you the answers to that. I've gotten a lot of DMs of that. I can't push you towards those things because that's not my style. But the thing is, just ask for brands. Like, what are brands you like personally? What are some things you like? And people will send you some of their brands they like, and you can do some, you know, some researching. You know, you gotta go down the internet, the rabbit hole of like looking through these items and looking for what is best suited for you. 1, your budget. 2, if it's gonna actually fit you. And the last but not least, is it gonna fit your wardrobe that you currently have? Now, to follow up with, you know, asking your fashion friends if they gatekeep stuff, use IG. They cannot gatekeep who they follow. So if you check their following stuff, check like your favorite fashion influencer, check your fashion friends, who they're following. You'll find brands and people that they follow that you can also check, like, you know, oh, they like these brands, because the likelihood of fashion people following brands they like is very likely just because they want to keep up to date. And if your fashion friends are gatekeeping hard, look at the following list. They can't gatekeep who they're following. So just click their following, check the brands out that they're following, and maybe you might gain something, an interest. Something might be interesting to you and you like them, then you can follow them. But also, like, even using IG Explore page, the IG Explore page could be riddled with streetwear and stuff like that, because it all depends on what you like. Again, if you're looking at the IG Explore page, sometimes you'll find brands on there that are interesting, or you can, you find some fashion dude that's like on the Instagram Explore page. Click at who they link, because fashion people love just categorizing what they have on, like with the brands and stuff. Check the tags, click the tag, hopefully they have them tagged, and then follow up to whatever brand that they're they bought those from. This is definitely the hardest part to really find brands in general. Most mainstream brands are going to be really easy to find, but when you're really looking hard to find like that new upcoming brand, that's going to be very difficult. But the last thing that I've found brands that I've personally liked have been from my friends that are into fashion. Luckily for me, I don't have friends that gatekeep. I don't know about you, but get friends that do not gatekeep. You want people that are just going to help you, push you to brands and put you on. You want to be put onto these brands. So now let's get into step 4. So with step 4, now you're looking for brands and you've gone into brands that you've seen that have been like of interest to you. And now you got to ask yourself a few questions before purchasing anything. Why do you like the items? Are the items just interesting to you in an aesthetic way, or do they speak to you more of like, oh yeah, this will definitely fit like how I want to express myself. This will definitely fit me and like my wardrobe that I'm currently building, or will this definitely fit like the style that I'm really going for? These are just some questions that you should ask yourself even before purchasing anything. It's definitely a rule of thumb, because you don't want to purchase something that ends up not fitting with your wardrobe, not fitting with how comfortable you are. And the third thing is you shouldn't be buying items that you aren't gonna actually like, and maybe you were influenced by social media or somebody else to purchase something. Buy it because you like it. Don't buy it because other people are telling you it's cool. Buy it because you like it and you genuinely want to wear it. You do got to ask yourself why you like the item. Why is it speaking to you? Things like that are just questions that you should just ask yourself. Another question to ask yourself is, does this fit my measurements? Does it fit my silhouette? And does it fit like the proportions that I'm going for in terms of the certain style that you're going to? Because there's different silhouetting of clothes, and you got to really ask yourself, is this style of clothing going to fit my wardrobe? Is this going to fit me? And it's going to fit how it look? And you just got to really know your measurements. Obviously, silhouetting and proportions are definitely a different video for me to make, but at the time being, if you know your measurements and like clothing that actually fits your body, that is something you want to remember before purchasing something, because some items just do not and will not fit you, unfortunately. If you have big thighs, there's some pants that won't fit you. It all depends on you and what you're actually trying to cater towards. And the last question to ask yourself, is this item or this style that I want to be wearing, am I comfortable enough to walk out in public in it? Now, this is like a huge thing, because depending on where you live, there's only so much that you can do in terms of like actual individuality and also expressing yourself. Of course, if you're in danger of being hurt or anything, try your best not to just expose yourself to getting hurt anywhere or getting harmed. But again, if you're gonna get weird stares, people are gonna stare at you. Like, that's gonna be always the thing. People will make comments. Will you feel comfortable going through that? And not every place is always as progressive as they say, so you gotta ask yourself, are you gonna feel comfortable walking around town with like the stuff you wear? The thing is, do you want to really power through this? Like, do you really want to wear this item that bad that you're willing just to walk around and not care anymore, not care what people think, how people like look at you and stuff like that? If you feel fully confident wearing this item, buy it. If you feel confident wearing it, if you feel comfortable wearing it and it makes you feel great, wear the item, wear it out. That is something you definitely want to purchase. And this segues into step 5. So now we're on to step 5. With step 5, you want to start off small. You want to buy accessories first before getting into anything else. You want to buy like rings, bangles, maybe necklaces, chains, or whatever that is, and the different genre that you're looking for. Bags are a really huge thing. Buy small first. You don't want to invest all your money into a big item first and then end up not wanting to wear the item anymore. So the step-by-step process would go, first you want to buy into accessories. Tops are going to be the second less inexpensive thing to get into. And once you've gotten a feel for the accessories and the tops that you've been wearing, maybe it's time to now that you feel like, oh, I actually like this, and I actually feel like this works for my style, and this like is definitely something I want to be going into more, then get into some bigger items like some outerwear or some pants, and you can go from there. So you want to invest your money into those things, into the bigger items, and then you can actually end up figuring out if you like them or not. The one thing that I want to mention is you do not want to fully devote yourself into a relationship with one style immediately, because you don't necessarily know if you're going to actually wear it, if you're actually going to like it. You want to hook up with clothing. You want to hook up with clothes, you want to try them out, test ride them out a little bit. This is the only thing I'm going to promote is do not settle for the first option. You're going to want to continuously try different genres of style before you end up fully devoting into like an actual relationship with one style. Again, you're going to be a free spirit for a long time. You're going to be single and ready to mingle with a bunch of different genres of style. And you got to remember, you got to tell yourself, am I going to actually wear this? Am I going to wear this at all? Like, is this the style that I want? Do not fully devote yourself into one thing. This is where fast fashion and buying really cheap alternatives come in hand, because you feel like you need to devote yourself and like build a whole wardrobe according to like tech wear or punk or whatever genre you're getting into. You do not need to do that. Start off small, then you work your way up into the bigger items so that you don't end up wasting your money like you do with like a lot of other things when you start adventuring into this new genre, this little side quest of yours. Remember, figuring out what you like is very difficult, so of course it's going to take some time and effort, and there's going to be some errors sometimes. So it will be a little bit difficult to figure out if you really do like this style or not. Another thing that I want to mention for the last thing is the recycling method. I want to mention the recycling method because this is a huge important thing for a lot of newbies that are first getting into the fashion realm. When you're all the way down in this route of finding your style, and like now you're finally buying items that are very specific to a certain style or genre, you need to invest in these items. You need to invest in these pieces, because if you're buying a lot of fast fashion items, they do not hold any value whatsoever. So the likelihood of you being able to sell any of these items is very unlikely. Remember, you want to at least buy items that hold value and or some type of profit. Now, this doesn't mean that you should hold on to this value like that all the time, but when you're first getting into this new landscape of fashion, this is a mindset to have, just because it will help protect you and your bank account. And you might be asking yourself, why, JQ? Why would I want to do this? Like, why do I want to invest money into like a $200 pair of pants or $100 pair of pants? Whether you buy them secondhand, first hand, or whatever, but I always recommend buying your items secondhand and just lowballing and haggling like that. That is the best way to do it, or find sample sales and such. But when you buy these items that hold value and or you'd be able to resell them for more later, the reason for this is it's very simple. If you end up going up to the level of where you're buying outerwear and stuff for a certain genre, and you end up like not liking it, this is not my style, this is not for me, I don't want to commit to this, I don't want to make a relationship with this style, you can sell those clothes because you're not going to wear them anymore. So now it's time to sell them. And now you had bought this Uniqlo or like some fast fashion Forever 21 Zara pleated pants. You cannot resell those. The likelihood of you getting your money back for however much you spent on them is very unlikely. So when you buy like some Issey Miyake like pleated pants, there is some resale value, and or you'll be able to make your money back on however much you lowballed for them or how much you bought them for. And it's a nice experience, because now that you got your money back, you can now in turn buy more clothes with that. So it's just reinvesting into yourself. And this is kind of the way I think about this, is by the recycling method, where you purchase an item and then later down the line you don't like it anymore, you can get rid of it, make your money back, and or sell it for more later. And what's not to like? This is the best thing about fashion, is sometimes these clothing pieces hold value, sometimes you might be able to make profit. And the thing about my wardrobe and stuff is a lot of it does hold a lot of value, and later down the line I may not want to wear something anymore, or or I don't get a lot of use out of it, so it's time to sell it. So when I sell it, I make my money back, and or I sell it for more and I make profit, and that allows me to buy, some other items that, maybe I had my eyes on and I was lusting over, wanted to cheat on my clothing. But my thing is, think investments. You want to invest in these pieces because at the end of the day, it will definitely help you out a lot. I know it's going to be a struggle to spend like $100 on a pair of pants or $150 for a shirt or something like that. But at the end of the day, if you know that it's going to actually sell for more later and you have kind of like that to fall back on, it's less restrictive on you. You don't feel so inclined to be like, I don't know if I want to buy this. You'll know you'll be able to fall back on the idea that you can sell it down the line, later down the line. So, when you're buying into different genres and styles, you want to buy accessories, you want to go down to tops, then bottoms, and then last but not least, outerwear and jacket and stuff. Like those bigger items are going to cost a lot more money. And let's say you don't like any of those, then you could just sell them later down the line for either more profit or for how much you bought them for, which means now you can use all that money to invest into the new genre or whatever style that you're getting into. Or maybe you end up finding the style you like and you just don't wear those pieces anymore, even though they fit the genre you're going for. And you were just like, what, I'd rather buy like some boots or something. I don't want these pants anymore. You sell them, you make your money back. You can now invest all that money into something better, something bigger, something more beautiful for your closet. So that is just something that you have to think about with step 5, is just have that mindset of being a low-key bread stacker. Well, that's going to end it for me today. Thanks for joining me on this nice sicko mode YouTube video that I decided to make about finding your style. Remember to leave some comments down below for your fellow brethren, your fellow NPCs of brands and or maybe different genres or subcultures of styles that you might find interesting. Leave them down in the comments down below and to help other people out. Maybe they never knew about this certain brand and you just, you put it out there for the world, put people on, you got to help all these other people out. So just leave some comments down below of your favorite brands or brands that you might want, maybe people might need to check out. And also, if I missed anything, go ahead and leave some more comments down below of maybe what have helped you through the past that maybe I had missed or you wanted to add on to what I was saying. And I may make a 2.0, if I felt like there's some new information to divulge and that I wanted to have a conversation about, I will add that into the next YouTube video of a 2.0, just like I did with my timeless wardrobe 2.0, because, 2.0 always means better. So maybe I got better in my conversation skills. Maybe I got better with my speech patterns. I don't know. And also, I want to thank my Patreon so much. Thank you so much for supporting a guy who makes videos in his little bedroom that I have here. Thank you so much. I have a lot more exclusive content that I'm going to be making, and also maybe some podcasts pretty soon on topics that I've been just wanting to discuss in a more longer format that's unedited. And if you want to support me on my Patreon, go ahead and check the description down below. And if you want to get in contact with me on any social media for maybe your brands that you want to showcase or, conversation that you want to have about my video or whatever, go ahead and check the description. I have all my socials linked there. You can just DM me on there real quick. And remember to fill the void. I don't look that bad today, actually. Hair's looking kind of good. Oh, you're still here. I thought you would have left by now, but if you want to check out some videos, go ahead and check these videos out and maybe subscribe to me if you actually think I earned your subscription. And I don't know, just watch these videos. I will continue to be here until the video ends.